hate that hedgehog! Hello. I'm alive. Despite everything. I'm gonna be calling up Train in a minute. Sabo is probably not gonna be with us. This will be clearly docked from his pay that he doesn't get. So yeah, we should be going to the Dons today. I don't think... I don't think we're gonna be, I don't know what else we're doing because I'm blind, but I did do the grinding, so I should be in a good spot, because I did that the other day when I was doing meal prep, like, which actually I gotta do today too, funny enough. But, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it right now, and we're gonna get started in just a moment. I'm gonna take this music out. We're gonna unmute the game audio. There it goes. Let's take the funny picture down. There we go. There's the actual game. And now I call Train. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to the Circus of Value.
Oh, is that what we're playing today?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm not playing Bioshock. I did the grinding. I do have, the Edge. And I also went through and unlocked its skill. I
good, I'm
unlocked
glad
all
you're
the
hard.
skills for Aerith. Yeah, I'm hard. Anyway. But yeah, I have it. I, also unlocked Aerith's abilities for both of her wands. So she has those now. I have all the things equipped. I have the level 2 limits. I did it all, other than, you know, actual progression into the plot.
And the only thing it cost was your immortal soul.
I just did it while I was doing a meal prep last week. Wasn't bad. I just put on some music, did a couple of dozen times, and that was it. I think I even have some money left over. I even have like 700 credits left.
Neat. Did you see the Bandai Namco thing yesterday?
No, I actually didn't get around to watching it yet.
Okay.
Anything of interest?
So they showed off the that Grimdark Edgelord Pac-Man game, which I think is kind of funny.
I think it's funny, though I'd be lying if I said I was gonna pick it up.
I might, because it's only 20. It's only going to be like 25.
25? That's not bad. But I also have a number of other games I'm eyeing up, like the Ninja Guy and Shinobi and stuff like that.
Fair.
And I put Digimon on my plate now as a possibility, so...
Yeah, that's the funny thing. Digimon had like a really big showing yesterday. It was like the final thing in the presentation, and it had like the longest time spent on it. So Bandai Namco is actually looking like they actually want to push it, which I was not expecting.
That's interesting, because usually they just like fart them out and be like, "All right, there it is, go away, fucker."
You're here.
Well, usually it's like, yeah, here's this game from a popular IP that you all want to play, or from a semi-popular IP, but you know, still somewhat niche. We're not going to give it any fanfare and let it die. And no, this one they're actually... I think it might be because people have speculated it might be because they sort of smelt blood in the water with Pokemon.
It's like they said.
Honestly, now is a good time because, like, say, like for me, like I like I do like creature catchers sort of stuff. But, like, Pokemon bores me as a
I'm
game.
gonna put Aerith in the most good.
It's also just had, like,
and
lots
the
of...
mechanics of a lot of the other Digimon
It'll
ones,
be a
like, I would
real
look at them and like, I'm not sure if I want to deal with that kind of commitment.
Now that
And this
that's
one
out of the
feels
way.
like it's striking
Once
that
you train,
balance of what
you
I
won't be
want.
able to leave town.
Well, I
I'm
think the
sure
other
you'll-
thing is Pokemon just had a lot of, like, very, a lot of unforced errors and L's in recent years. Like,
Takes a lot of work
you know,
and
the
preparation.
whole National Dex
Far more
stuff
than you
with,
know.
like, starting in Sword Shield, like the massive amount of bugs, performance issues associated with Scarlet and Violet.
Oh, you're talking about like for overall people, not me, where my things are
Not interested.
a little bit longer running than that. Okay, fair enough.
Then maybe you can shut
Like,
it
but these are
down.
like the
You
in
left
more
Albright
recent
dead.
times the things that have
Which
been
is to
bothering
say,
people.
Why don't you try putting
Uh,
those finely honed mercenaries?
So yeah, I
to
think
use
it's just
in
been
Lucia and Walmart?
you know, a time
I
where
have a few
Nintendo's
really
shown a
quests
lot of
that you might be
weakness,
able to help
and
out
especially
with.
with like things like Power, like even Power, as silly as like the whole Power World and like Temtem stuff
Now
is.
get out there.
It's like
and
they're
show
not
me
like
what
I
you
don't
can
think
do.
they're ever going to actually be Pokemon killers. They'll be like
And
the
that's enough
flavor
of
of the
that.
month at best.
Aaron,
The only reason
come
Power
on.
World's really had like
Oh
the
boy, I
notoriety
can't
it's
wait to
had
see the
And it
drive.
even
is
like the
because of the
The
lawsuit.
dress is
yeah,
hot.
and that gave it a resurgence and
But
made me go
also
like,
if you
maybe
think
I'd
about
poke a
that
stick at it for
plain
fun if
Jane
it's cheap
makeup
as
and
hell.
hairdo. This is gonna take some work.
Whereas
Plain-
Digimon's obviously a IP that has existed for decades and has like multimedia projects outside of like just games, because you know
And there's still like
shows and-
nostalgic for even like for like people like me too. Like, yeah, I haven't touched it in ages, but now I'm like, ah. And I have been feeling nostalgic for Digimon lately too.
I recognize that guy. Yeah. See, it's just kind of interesting to see that it is like the front running, like this is the thing that we are
'Cause the
we are
only
pushing.
things I knew that were there was that because I knew it was there. I didn't know it was like the end bit, and I know that they like announced another like My Hero game. That's about all I know.
So there
Well,
was
in the
a
Pac-Man
My,
ones, you told me that.
so there was a My Hero Arena Fighter, which is fine.
Like,
for My
like
Hero
I'll
fans.
probably pick it up because I do enjoy them, but like I'm not saying like it's one of those like, oh, I need to have this sort of things.
There was a bit about Code Vein 2,
Which
which
I
I'm
don't
still
really...
honestly amazed we're getting a Code Vein 2.
Yeah, I'm not really interested. I won't lie.
What else? There was a isometric point of view
If you've got some time to spare, how about a little bit
RPG thing that looks kind of neat. I can't remember its name.
You're not serious, are you? Look at him. Just I could snap
Nothing. I was nothing like huge. I was sort of expecting almost like a teaser for some of the stuff that they've got like incoming. Like
If you want to give it a go, just let me know.
what's it called? Like I was kind of expecting a teaser for like
Man, this guy's calling...
Ace
I mean, I
Combat's-
know this guy's bigger than Cloud, but Cloud's got build. Look at his look at those arms. Those aren't skinny arms.
Yeah, I was half expecting to get like a rep for what's it called? Ace Combat 8, or at least like a tease for it, but no.
I'm starting to wonder if that's just quietly dead.
like a dried up old terpsichore.
Maybe, but then like we've also expected lots of other stuff to be dead that just miraculously. Oh, and there was also like Tekken 8 talking about like the new, well, not new DLCs from
The new
Tekken 7.
character, yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
it's
new quote character.
Squad off.
in quotations he's new.
Let's all see what you've got.
Like, I mean, I think Falk is kind of cool, but like, one thing I said the other day is that I said like, well, sorry, it was someone else that like, Sagat is just so much cooler, and he just always will be. And Tekken has never really had a good Muay Thai rep, cause like, Falk is okay. Then you have Josie, who I enjoy playing, but yeah, she's okay. And then you have Brian, who sort of is but isn't. And then going further back, you have Bruce, and no one gives a fuck about Bruce. I don't care what a bunch of people squawking, repeating what one fucking old man says, and trying to pretend that Bruce is somehow this popular gem that they're not using. No, nobody fucking cared about him. Oh wait, I'm not fighting this guy. It's just like a rhythm thing. Oh, okay. All right, fine. I'll do squats.
But yeah, so it was kind of interesting in that sense. Oh, and there was like Super Robot Wars Y, but they didn't really show anything new for Super Robot Wars Y, so it was just reminding you that yeah, Super Robot Wars Y is coming.
The best you can do.
Could you at least have shown us if Godzilla was playable, or like what like the DLC is that's not? Oh, because I guess they fully confirmed that like the pre-order bonus is Cybuster, and the two like units from V. They're upgrades.
Don't forget to breathe.
Oh, I hate it when they get rid of the UI. That sucks.
Oh, right, you're doing the squats. Yeah.
Squats, yeah.
Not at all. I knew
It's
you
kind of dumb.
Fun.
It's like, alright,
Have
we'll
fun.
get rid of the UI. That's our way to challenge you.
how it's done. I knew you could
Don't challenge yet.
You got this. Come on. Not bad at all. Your form's looking good.
But
How it's done.
yeah, as I said, like the more I saw when they like showed off this Pac-Man game. Like, I forgot it existed.
I eventually
and
got the
then when they
rhythm
showed it
anyway.
And then when they showed it off again, I'm like, I think I'm kind of into this. Which is funny, because, I thought we were long past the sort of period of, like, haha, of grimdark. What if we took, like, this cutesy thing and made it
It feels like
more,
it feels like
nostalgic?
something that would have been made like 15 years ago.
But I think it's, yeah, but then I think today it feels a bit more genuine. Like, it feels more tongue-in-cheek, where they're like, yeah, it's Pac-Man, it's grimdark, isn't that? It's funny, whereas before you think, like, oh, it's Bomberman, but it's grimdark, and it's like, this is what people actually believe is cool. I mean, fuck, they've changed the name of the ghost to G-Hosts, and I'm like, that's so dumb. It's so great, but it's so dumb. It's so cool.
Our doors are always open to you.
The legendary super pack is egged on by a crying baby.
I have joined the gym family.
All right, Jim.
I don't think I'm gonna do all of those squats. I'm not gonna do the higher difficulties.
Understandable.
That was not really fun.
Yeah.
Even if I can beat it, I'm not having fun.
Wait
like-
till you see wait till you get to the hard course.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
And yeah, and then even Time Stranger wasn't really about revealing too much more, just sort of like a more in-depth thing.
Damn,
So,
I just looked. The Hardened is so much stronger than my other swords. Like, holy fuck! Its damage output is like 73 versus 30 of my versus like my highest, which, well, we're not gonna count the back because it sucks overall. The 29 of my Iron Blade.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, like what happens is as you progress, you unlock like higher more like upgrade tiers for each weapon, and
Right.
they'll like drastically increase stats. But yeah.
Oh,
the
actually, I do have some
intention is
upgrades I should get for. Oh, actually, Buster's got a ton. Hold on, let me upgrade the Buster a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue. Sorry, I got distracted by video game stuff.
Okay, where I was just saying, hey, Time Stranger is actually being pushed, and it's a good word, and hey, maybe it will do well.
And that's good.
I think it has a chance. Maybe not, and especially because I think it'd be interesting to have it come out at the same time as we've had like Expedition 33 come out
Also,
and do really well.
Also, me thinking that was just like kind of annoying, but not necessarily hard because their way of like, how do we make this harder? Make it go invisible. I don't really think that's like being hard. I think it's just being annoying. I had someone who didn't understand, who's like, but isn't hard, but annoying is hard. Difficulty is annoying. It's like, no, they're not. They're not like lashed at the hip with each other. What the fuck are you talking about?
In other good news, Stop Killing Games is back.
Oh yeah, I think we were talking about that last time. I think actually it's
Yeah, we
doing
were
really
talking
well
about-
now.
Yeah, we were talking about how like that one fuckhead caused like
Pirate something.
caused drama. Yeah, I just wasn't gonna name him because he's not really worth naming.
Oh, yeah, the only reason I knew of him was because so I got to learn a bit more about him, like where basically his fall into being a grifter is because he fucked up on some reality show World of Warcraft thing, and then he just kind of fell down there, which is kind of funny. It's fun to learn the origin of something that like that I didn't know of that they existed until that happened, and them like shitting and pissing and coming all over the place because they were just being a dick.
Yeah. It has massively blown up in his face, which sort of anyone with a brain can see. But what is it is better than that, than just him suffering, is the fact that, there's a bigger push and there's a real chance it will... I mean, I think the UK petition, which I signed, I did my part.
I can't because I'm an American citizen.
I'm just reminding people, I did my part. I was on the front lines.
Because I know, like, if I did, like, if they do, it could, like, fuck it up. So, like, even if I tried, like, VPNing that shit, like, it would be a bad idea.
Because, I just want it to be known that come the revolution, my head is safe.
Oh, so you're the new
Yeah, no, you're doing the right thing. I'm sitting here watching you guys, like, oh, I hope this fucking works. Because, like, it's kind of like how when, I think it was, I can't remember if it was the UK in total, or France, or which country it was, that was like, hey, you're gonna make the USB cords universal, fuck off, stop this shit. Because that eventually trickled over to here, so now, like, USB cable is so much easier to fucking deal with.
Yeah, that was the EU directive, and that's always been the point, because it's not a matter of winning the battle in every part of the world. You only realistically need to win in one market, because if they have to do it for one market, they might as well do it for everyone. Because that was the point. As long as you have your end of life plans for your games, and by EU or UK or whatever regulation, it's like, well, you want to operate this market, you've got to have them. Then it's like, it's costlier to not do it for America.
To find those thieves to clear the angel's name, and I need your help
So,
to do it.
you know,
She would
fingers
never,
crossed that we
ever
get somewhere in either of these like places where it's maybe progressing.
Find the three I saw and bring them here
Not
to
like
me.
super hopeful, because you know, old people in politics should be, you know, anyone over the age of like, I'll be generous and say 55 in politics should be shot in the head and make way for someone younger. More
I mean, one of the
cognizant.
things I say about, like, say, like, for my side of things, when it comes to, like, the Supreme Court judges, I feel like they should have term limits. Like, they shouldn't be there for life.
Well, everyone agrees that they should have term limits. You know who doesn't agree they should have term limits? Them. And who makes the rules?
Them. Yeah.
Man, I do hope though, with all of the insane things the Supreme Court has ruled, like these last sort of year or so, that the next Democrat president, which feels like guaranteed at this point, to be the next, like in 2028, basically just abuses these rules to hell and back to ruin everyone, to ruin their lives.
At this point, I feel like I could shamble onto the scene drunk, and I could, as a Democrat, and I could fucking take it at this point. Like, holy shit, is it bad?
I mean, you'd at least do something, which is better than, like, you know, Schumer, who does nothing.
Man.
I did like when obviously this stupid bill thing that they're gonna pass went through, and he's like, guys, I got a big victory. I changed the bill's name. I'm like, and then I looked in all of the replies. It was basically saying, "Fuck you. You're the horrible. You're the worst. KYS. Leave. Die." And I'm like, yeah, maybe he should answer that question. Why don't you leave and why don't you die? Let other people do it, because you'll do nothing.
One of my favorite terms to go past the algorithm for it is saying sewer slide. It just sounds so funny.
It does make it sound like you're playing Sewer Shark, doesn't it?
It does.
But yeah, anyway, so yeah, Stop Killing Games actually might be able to, at the very least, get talked about. Because even like that is of itself a win, because, you know, and it has been funny seeing all the big developers come out and say, no, wait, these guys are right. We should have regulations.
Which honestly is probably because a lot of them see where the wind's blowing, so they want to be on the right side of it, so to speak. Which, hey, whatever. If that's what you want to do, just for good PR, I don't care. I'll take you, just because it'll get us to the goal.
Yeah, if you want to claim that you didn't hear what was if you didn't know what was going through those shower pipes, that's all fine by me, as long as we get something good out of it.
As long as we get the right thing, I don't care. You can pretend posture all you want.
So I had no idea we were the baddies looking at your skulls on your caps. So yeah, that has been that's been some surprising amounts of good news this week. It is also interesting. It is also funny because I did look it up. Because I was talking with a friend of mine who's also like loves Cyber Sleuth, and he's like, "Oh, my friend who's pissed off at Pokemon, he wants to play something." And I'm like, "Well, you know, that Cyber Sleuth Complete Edition is on Steam for $7.99."
It is really cheap right now.
And
The
I'm
only
like,
reason I'm not picking
maybe,
it up is because I'm playing a lot of RPGs at the moment.
and I'm like, maybe I should be the TF1 hype guy for Time Stranger.
Right?
Remember that guy?
Yes. Vaguely, I think.
Yeah, the guy who basically championed the whole movie on his fucking back. Oh, I guess that's a point. Allegedly, Michael Bay coming back to direct Transformers again.
I did see that, and I just went, okay.
On the bright side, Josh Cooley, who directed TF1's coming back to direct Transformers movie, but it's live action.
Coming with me.
But
Nice.
yeah. But yeah, I got a lot of RPGs that I'm playing right now. I actually did start Metaphor, which isn't my main game yet because I'm finishing up Fallen Order, and then it's gonna be it. And I've been liking it so far.
You don't honestly think
Oh, right, that's another thing. I did finally watch G-Clucks.
Okay.
No,
What do you think of it?
I recognize the man. These guys are just small
I don't know.
crooks who've been pestering folks around.
It's kind of one of those things where I don't think I hated it, but I also don't think I liked it.
I think it's so I liked it a lot, but I think that it has the
consider us
same
square.
problem
Once you've
that
taught
Witch
these girls
has
a
is,
lesson.
man, this should have like a whole ass other season.
Get moving.
Because you
mean,
can
I
tell
will
it's like they're like, shit, we're running out of time. We gotta get our shit out. Fuck.
I mean, it probably doesn't help in that I just did not care for Machu.
Now that wouldn't help you. I liked her, so you know.
You need help taking them to the
I mean, it's one of those things where you can say, oh well, she's
But I can manage on my own.
she's kind of like spunky and has these has kind of attitude, and well, that's neat in in like a sort of like vacuum. I kind of feel like she comes across as like very quest-like with her. Oh, I actually live a pretty decent life, and I'm gonna fuck over everyone because.
I mean, I kind of get it.
what I
'Cause
want.
well, I think she's a better Quest because she makes more sense in the regard that she's just a stupid teenager, where Quest almost feels like a parody of a stupid teenager.
And also just the whole thing of like, oh, let's meet Shuji, and then immediately everybody's in love with Shuji, and I'm like, did I miss an episode?
And
it
it's
felt
just
like
'cause
we-
honestly, for me,
it
it's
felt
like,
like
that, 'cause
we-
they're just dumb teenagers.
Yeah, but it just felt so like, oh, we're gonna basically ruin everything for Shuji because I don't know, he.
But
keeps,
yeah,
like-
I think the issues are the fact that it was a short series still, and I think that's unfortunately a problem that we're gonna keep having forever at this point.
It does also confirm my suspicions that Lala is a fucking monster.
True.
Like I'm not sympathetic. Lala's just horrible. She's terrible. She ruins everyone's lives, and in fact, she's she's killed billions, according to G-Quux. So
And going by multiverse standards, every Lala has killed millions.
While you're waiting around.
yeah.
We've
Oh
got
no, I think doing the whole multiverse thing is
clamoring to
also a
see
misstep.
their favorite champ go another round or 10.
That's
Multiverse is multiverse is overplayed, and it's one of those things where multiverse is in the context of like Dynasty Warriors Gundam, you know, fun because it's a
I
stupid
think it
game.
would have been
and-
better if it was just like, okay, this is an alternate timeline, and we don't address that, and we just
Yeah,
play it out.
But then
Like
it's
maybe
like, oh,
you have
well,
like a character from the original timeline, like doing something or being in the background or what have you. But for the most part, like yeah, like I do agree with that criticism.
So as I said, I didn't hate it. I don't think, but I also am like, I
It's not.
don't,
You
I don't
it's
think
okay,
it's one I'll
basically.
I think it's one I will probably never rewatch.
That's fair. And like I said, I really liked it, but I do agree with the like I said, the amount of episodes it had is an issue. I think the multiverse thing I'm okay with, but I also kind of agree with that, and I would have preferred if it was just alternate timeline and that's it.
That's the thing. Well, yeah, Witch of Mercury can feel rushed. I also felt like, at least I felt like it was easier to sort of go along with like Soletta.
Well, yeah, because it was
and,
also it didn't like then try to do like a whole like timeline thing.
Yeah, like,
it was
when you
just
have
here's
to-
its story and here's the story we're telling. Like its biggest issue is literally just the episode count. That's really it. It's
And also,
like,
I guess just the weird thing where they're like, oh yeah, you know, Yarn or whatever her name is, like murdered a whole bunch of people, and then she was sad, and I guess we just don't address that anymore.
Oh yeah, where she like killed like I can't. Someone like did a thing on the body count, and it's kind of nutty.
Yeah.
And again, I think it's that issue of not enough episodes. And I think, unfortunately, until they say, hey, we're giving a show 2 seasons, we're going to keep having this problem, unfortunately.
Also, kind of feels like it fucks up Sailor's character, even though she's not in the show, really.
They really don't like bringing Sayla out.
Well, I mean, because she shows up, but then they're like, oh yeah, so you're going to make Artesia, you know, her real name, and we're going to make her the head of Xenon. I'm like, I feel like Sailor fucking hated that as an option. It's like the last thing she wanted. So it's like, okay, feels like G-Quux
I feel like Sayla is a character that nobody understands, including Tomino.
Well, yeah, because she gets like massively sidelined for stupid reasons. But yeah, I don't know. It's also, I'll say this. I
Which
don't
is a
like
shame
any
because
of the-
Sayla was my favorite character in the original series.
Yeah, I was kind of excited when they were like implying
Which,
in the
which
one
isn't
episode that
surprising if you think
Sailor.
about it.
I was kind of, excited when they were implying that Sailor was like going to be piloting a gun cannon or like, not Gundam to fight Shaw, and then it just didn't really happen.
Yeah.
So, Also, that's another thing. I really don't like the designs of like the 3 Gundams from G-Quirks.
I do like the Machu's one grew on me, but I won't say it's like my favorite, and I don't think I'm gonna buy the kit of it. Like, if you know what I mean. Like, I think it's okay, but I'm not buying its kit. Ow, ow! I'm getting hurt.
When the actual RX-78-2 showed up, I was like, oh thank God, a mech I can see.
I will say I did like, in terms of like visual shit, how they made it grow giant, like it was like the representation of how a Xeon feels when they're fighting that damn thing.
I mean, here's the thing. I had in the back of mind throughout that whole thing, and I'm like, is this an Ideon thing? Is this just going to be Ideon?
Honestly, I was thinking that too.
Especially because there's that one like sort of non-canon manga where Judo and Amuro find Ideon.
Isn't it like they have to like stop it from destroying everything?
Something like that. I've
Like
never
it
read it,
wakes
just
up.
vaguely.
I think I remember vaguely, but I.
They never. I know they play very coy if it is Ideon or not, because, you know, Ideon's in this weird state of, because it ends so ambiguously, everyone's like, well, Ideon might be a prequel to all the Gundams, and, you know, not helped when Turn A has like flashbacks to series that definitely don't take place in Turn A timeline.
Yeah.
Or when Tomino's like, no, actually, Turn A is the sequel to all Gundams. And I'm like, okay, does that mean? And then, you know, you have stuff like Seed. See, I don't know. G-Quirks was... Yeah, G-Quirks was a show. I'll leave it at that.
Fair enough, honestly.
Also, I guess one more point. When Shah, like, even though I didn't like the design aesthetic of, like, their version of the RX-78, I really fucking think it looks fuck ugly in Shah's colours. I'm like, yeah, maybe there's a reason why this guy never had a Gundam.
There are I've seen like in terms of like, you know, kits where they've made it red, and it looks okay, but I definitely prefer it either, you know, in the traditional colors or in like the gunmetal gray that the G3 has.
Very nicely.
Yeah.
done.
But I also do like the FSD one where it's like all black with like the orange linings and shit. I do think that one looks cool.
That's another thing. If they were going to make it an alternate, like an actual just alternate universe, I would have loved. I think I would have preferred it if they'd have gone like in on all of the stuff surrounding 0079 got brought in. Like, yeah, okay, so we have it. So okay, Shah got the RX-78. But what if in this universe then the Alex wasn't totaled?
That would be interesting.
You know, what about having the 08th MS team and like the Easy 8 show as a thing? Like stuff like that, I think could have actually like made the alternate. Because I didn't find like the concept of what if Shah had a Gundam that interesting on its own. What I was thinking, if we used it to tie into all the other like 0079 adjacent stuff that has come out since, that might be a route you can go, so it doesn't just become Code Geass.
You could also even have it be like, okay, what if the feds then like, okay, they lost their Gundam, and then they said, fuck it, and they just stole, like a Xeon suit. Like, what if they grabbed a Gelgoog and made a Federation Gelgoog or some shit?
What if they had a Big Zam?
What if they had a Big Zam?
Yeah.
What if they had 20 Big Zams?
Yeah, that was a thing where we just, like, show, oh, everyone, there's all these Big Zams. I'm like, what's the whole point of the Big Zam being?
The Big Zam was bad.
Yeah, the Big Zam sucked, but also at least it was like a, you know, boss.
Well, no, I meant like in lore it sucked. So like it's weird that they just made a bunch of them. Because his problem was it could only operate for like 5 minutes or something like that.
Long enough to kill Slegger.
Listen, 5 minutes. 5 minutes is more than enough to kill Slager.
But yeah.
Fan favorite Slager. But that was sarcasm, by the way. But yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Like, I'm definitely more positive on it, but I agree on a lot of your points. But like, yeah, it was all right. It definitely, I liked it. It has problems, like we were talking about, and yeah, that's pretty much it. The suit designs were, some of them I liked, some of them I didn't. I can't say I'd be buying kits of them like I did with the Witch ones, because I do like the Witch suits. Like the Barding is that Choo Choo suit at the end is like my favorite one in that. That's that one that had like the dome head and like the backpack that pops off and has like a little drone on it.
Like I said, it's when the actual RX-78 showed up, I was like, finally some good fucking food.
But yeah, that's about it really, I think, with that. Oh, I gotta go that way. I did see a bizarre, this is switching topics, a bizarre, and I saved this because I wanted to hear your reaction to this fucking take I saw, for Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, cool.
I saw this take that was like, Final Fantasy VII would not be affected and probably be better if you remove the character Tifa.
No.
Oh, no, you're correct.
Literally inaccurate. And I'll tell you
you're
what,
correct.
aside from just, you know, haha, she's my waifu, because she's fucking everyone's waifu. Like, aside from reasons like that, absolutely not, because part of Tifa's whole thing is she keeps the team grounded.
Also,
Like,
without
she is-
Tifa, Cloud wouldn't have had the reason why he wanted to take the soldier program.
Yeah, like for like backstory reasons, she's a big motivator for Cloud and his story, and of course Cloud's story is pretty central to Final Fantasy VII. But even beyond that, she serves a very important role by, as I said, she keeps the team grounded. She's the normal one of their entire group.
Yeah.
The reasonable one. And obviously, once again, ties to Cloud's backstory, has knowledge that no other character has about like events, even if she doesn't have the full story. But also, you know, she is also important for later on in the story because she's what guides Cloud back to being Cloud.
Yeah.
And the reason why that's important is because if it was using Aerith would have to invariably guide Cloud back to being Zack. You know, spoilers for all of that for people.
Now Aerith works.
Now
Aerith works in another way of like getting Cloud out of his shell. They both are very important characters, but they serve very different purposes.
To use trope terms, like Aerith is the magic pixie dream girl.
I see what you're saying. But yeah, I think. But yeah, you need both characters. Like, if you remove one of those two, the House of Cards just falls.
Well, like I said, the biggest sort of reason to include Tifa is to be able to get back to Cloud, is to be able to have Cloud be Cloud and not have Cloud be Zack, which for any other character would be what it is, because they don't know Cloud as Cloud. They only know Cloud in his Zack persona, or his Zack related adjacent persona.
Yeah, they don't know him from when he was a kid.
And he needs to have that kind of...
You would either have to rewrite an entire character to make them attached to his childhood, which at that point, why are we even doing this? Why are we having this conversation?
Like, that's the point. You'd have to rewrite a character to fill a role that has already been filled by a character that we've established is massively integral to the plot and to the development.
Which then also tangles that character up in other things and doesn't let them be the character they were initially. So you do that and everything's just falling apart anyway, and it makes it overall a worse experience.
As I said, it's not about just her being the goal, the childhood friend. It's the fact that she is someone who has like real, genuine emotional connections to Cloud. Because once Aerith dies, nobody really like connects with Cloud on like that sort of deep level, because that's not the sort of relationships they all have. Like, Barrett isn't going to be the character to go into like the visual representation of Cloud's fractured mind and be like, you know, hey, do you remember that promise we made on the water tower? Things that ground Cloud to being Cloud, like. So it's not only it's a bad take, but also objectively incorrect. Like, the only characters that you can remove from Final Fantasy VII are the ones who were already removed. And even then, they shouldn't have been removed. Like, okay, Wutai is treated as more of a background element, but absolutely Vincent Valentine's pretty integral to a lot of backstory and plot elements in 7.
Well, and the thing is, with both of those characters, even like the stuff with Wutai was cut back because of time, which is one of the things that remake then like goes and is like, all right, we're gonna do some of that shit we wanted to do like several decades ago because we now have the time and budget.
Nobody will say no.
Yeah.
Because it's
so,
FF7.
Like, yeah. So like, the only thing, so it's like you could remove them because they are like, you can reduce them because they are still like side characters compared to, you know, Tifa, Aerith, Barrett, like, so like it like you can like tone them down for that and it won't affect it too much. but like but like removing them would reduce the overall game and world, I think. Not as much as the other ones, yeah, but expanding on them, of course, improves it too. But like removing like the characters we were just talking about just makes it worse, no matter what. Then there's no way around it other than rewriting entire other segments and characters to fit that role, and then what's the fucking bloody point?
But even beyond that, even if we did, like, say, okay, what if we say that she's not as important as she is for the character relationships and the plot developments, which she is. I hate to break this to you, but a lot of the reasons why JRPGs are the way they are, or why, like, Japanese developed RPGs succeed, is because of characters, even ones who aren't as important. Like, think of how many people love the side characters who don't get to do much. Like, look at how many people fucking...
I can literally be that guy. Train, how many times is my favorite character in an RPG the character who doesn't get to do much in the plot and is just kind of there because there's
many times there's no short-haired action girl.
Yeah, which there's typically a lot of those that they then don't do much with. Like literally, I just like Vision of Mana, which I just finished. My favorite character in that, Karina, like does not get much. She doesn't. She unfortunately, like, you know, gets stamped in the role of character that I really like that gets, like, shuffled away by the plot and is just kind of there. That's one of the reasons why I glommed on Estelle so hard, because she's one of those characters, but she's the protagonist. Like one of those characters that in another RPG would be fall into that unfortunate pit.
But we've also seen this with, like, modern stuff, like Baldur's Gate, where, yeah, not every character is relevant to an extent, or has, like, pretty limited, like, overall impact on the plot. But they're all I mean, by virtue of how Baldur's Gate 3 works, basically anybody who's not Shadowheart is kind of screwed over for quite a while. But the whole point is, like, everybody loves all of those characters, or people will always have, like, a favorite amongst all of those characters. People will be like, yeah, I love Minsk and his fucking hamster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the why am I forgetting his name? Bear Boy.
You said you didn't want me going alone, right? Well, with Andrea's help,
you know the one, the pervert.
Oh yeah.
I think you'll look pretty cute.
Halsim. Yeah, that was his name.
What?
But yeah, so the whole point of, like, what makes RPGs work, or at least, like, in this sort of style, are the characters. So cutting one out is very rarely, like, a good idea, because, you know, even when it's like shit, like you walk around, like walking around, like, the world in Tales of Symphonia, you just have, like, you know, moments where
the banter. I love the banter. It's
bullshit.
My favorite part.
And shit like that's super important for, like, these long-standing games. That's how you get invested in characters and care. Like, I had an argument with my friend about Expedition 33 and its ending, which I won't talk about, but like it all stemmed from the fact that he really loved those characters and he wanted them to be in different circumstances or for whatever. And, you know, that's the point. You know, even if it's like things aren't going to always go the way that you want them to, you can fall in love with those sort of characters and those sort of environments. And it's a thing you don't see in a lot of Western RPGs, because they don't tend to focus on, like, extended casts too much.
Like,
it tends to be like your silent protagonist, your mostly silent protagonist, and then his, like, one NPC character friend who'll do all the talking, and then your quest givers.
Like, actually, hell, if we rewind the clock, my favorite character in 7 as a kid was fucking Yuffie. And she had, like, nothing!
Yep.
What was it? My favorite character in 8? Fucking Selfie!
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, you know, like, it's like... And they're not, like, the big characters. They're just... I just like them.
And here's the man of the hour.
As I said,
I
that's
like their personality. I like their design.
Our honored guest.
So yeah, like, Tifa absolutely could not be removed from FF7 and improve
No.
it. It would only cause further problems that would make the game worse.
Why would I want
And as I've gotten older, I've only more and more said, like I started liking Aerith more as I got older, and more understanding how, like, any of these characters you take off, they're not gonna be able to. It'll fuck up.
Even FF10, like, the only character you could realistically do that with is Kimahri.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but
we
then
can get rid of him, and that's fine.
But then we miss out on Kimahri Smallronzo.
Yeah.
So is it worth it in the end? So
Like-
yeah, like it's
I'm
no
trying to
sort
think,
of
like
thing.
you can't you can't get rid of Waka, you can't get rid of Riku, you can't yeah honestly think about it, like literally just Kamari because he was the first one that jumped to my brain when you said 10. Immediately my brain just saw his face.
The problem is he's just too silent. He's just too much of the strong silent type. You
Yeah.
don't get 6 bans with Kimari. I said even like games you might not like, you can see like where characters are important.
I will say
Even
Maybe-
characters you don't like are important. Like I don't like Akechi in Persona 5. Would I ever say the game is improved by not having him? No.
okay, hold on though. Would you say it would be improved if we got rid of the cat though?
Morgana's not character. Morgana is a gameplay aspect.
Okay, if we got rid of Morgana, would it be improved?
Yes, because he's not a character.
I agree.
Like he is.
Morgana's an active detriment.
Well, Morgana. The problem is Morgana exists also to facilitate. Is more to facilitate like other gameplay elements than just like combat or character interactions. Because he's also there to be your reason why you can't do the shit that you would otherwise be able to do. Or he's there to just be a van you drive around inside.
Yeah. But like to the story, he's an active detriment once you get to the fucking Kumara arc.
Yeah. I bet you this guy's a massive Morgana fan, like Sam.
I mean, I think the creator, I think they're honestly a self-insert for the creator, considering, like, once you get to,
Oh, I meant the guy who did who made the tried to say that teeth is, like, replace or removable.
I could see, yeah, I could see them being a Morgana fan. But yeah, I don't even know who they are, though, to be fair. It was just, I saw that, like, cross my nose. I didn't interact with it. I just looked at that, like, the same way I look at a car crash. I'm just like, what the fuck? And I just kept going.
Yeah, you wanted me to articulate why it's a dumb take. I get you.
No, I understand it, but it also, I felt like, A, you could have had a funny reaction, B, why not have a conversation topic? Especially with there only being 2 of us.
So that was
Like,
kill.
Yeah, when I was doing some errands, I was, like, coming up with, like, I was thinking, like, stupid things to talk about, and that was one of them.
Darling.
But
Idea.
Yeah. Very, very stupid take. Incorrect in every way.
I mean, it's kind of sort of says a lot why, once again, using like this sort of Japanese developed RPGs as an example, why things like audio dramas and CDs become incredibly popular for like these, because it's just the characters doing character things.
Like, even, like, looking around my room, just because of the merch I collect. Oh, let me pause this because this is another rhythm, and I don't want to get hit. Like, other than, like, a couple of comic book characters, and, like, cartoony stuff, like, I don't really have too many, like, American video game characters. I have, like, a Master Chief just because I think he looks cool. But, like, if you said, like, do you like Master Chief the character, I'd be like, what fucking character?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure there's some.
I wish well, Sam isn't Serious Sam is like a character, but he's from Croatia, not America. So
yeah.
And I'm not talking about like I'm not talking about the character himself. I'm talking about the where the team is located. They're in Croatia, so.
Yeah, I get you.
Because like let's see here. Yeah, thinking about video game characters that are Western. Who do I have? Is it literally just Chief? Because I don't have a Doomslayer, but again, I like Doomslayer. But what's his fucking character? He's got like a little bit, but he's not like say just like let's see here. Let me just pull one out. Let me just like kind of like turn around, spin around. He's not the same as say. Funny enough, we're just gonna point Meryl, who's right next to Chief, right there. She's more of a character.
I mean, the only American-developed character I have a figure for is Tracer. I've kind of explained why I have a Tracer.
Oh wait, I have a Coco Bandicoot controller holder, so there's one.
Yeah, you know what? We'll count that. Yeah, I have the Tracer, which I've explained before. The secret or the story of why I have a random Tracer.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Overwatch characters are fun, and I used to have stuff of them, but then when I fell out of love with the game, I was like, I don't really want these anymore.
I mean,
like
even if
they're
it's
not
like,
like
Tracer would never.
Good, sorry.
Tracer would never be a character I would want to because I don't like her voice.
Like, I liked Farah a lot because her armor is cool, and I thought the idea of her was cool. And then they just kind of did nothing with her, and then they made Brigitte instead, and which is just her but white and no jetpack, so she's lamer. I'm sorry, a mace isn't nearly as cool as a jetpack and a rocket launcher. What do you want?
I want Reinhardt stuff. He's the bit. Like, if we're talking like
Reinhardt looks
Overwatch character, like if we're talking Overwatch characters who look good, it's Reinhardt is number one, and then like number two, who gives a fuck? It's Reinhardt.
For me, it's Farah, but I do love Reinhardt's design too.
Like Reinhardt is the best. No, there's no if, ands, or buts. Nobody is above it.
I only slightly regret selling my Farah figure because I wanted to make room for other stuff that I was, you know, still like interested in.
Here's the Overwatch waifu tier list is, you know, C tier, everyone, it's like C tier, Widow, and B tier, most other people, A tier, Widow's butt, and then S tier is Reinhardt.
I'm surprised you gave her a C tier. I thought being French would even be even lower.
No, we like the French these days because we're all united against other countries.
You know, you're right.
You.
Yeah, actually you're right. You're actually 100% correct. I will not argue. Because I'd be wrong.
That's why, yeah, we're all friends. Like, all of Europe's friends now. More or less.
I'm just being tolerated.
Yeah, pretty much. You're one of the good ones. We're allowed to, you know. You're the token ones, so don't appear racist.
Token American.
Yeah. Just thinking of like Muffy Nates with Cap and Wolverine, and Cap being like, "You are my mugger, though, aren't you?" Cap, don't use that word.
God. I'm doing the honeybee rhythm game right now.
Ah, good. The thing where everyone was like, "They're not gonna do this, right?" And then, oh yeah, they did it.
I think it's. I may be bad at this, but I'm glad they did this.
I mean, it's worth it if only for the shot of Aerith fucking salivating about it. She is like a step away from going full like Tex Avery lead to what?
Right?
Wild Take.
I couldn't even see that one too well. But it is pretty funny to see her being like, "Arr!"
Yeah. Honestly, very progressive. It just shows that women can be horny too.
Sometimes people forget that for some reason.
Because they're sin. Oh, wait, we don't have to say that, are we?
Oh, I messed up some. She wasn't salivating. Fuck.
Damn.
Damn it!
Damn, you got no aura, no bitches,
Shit!
no riz.
Ah!
Do we still say ratioed? I forget.
I don't know. I don't know what the kids
As
are
if
doing
I ever
these
even
days.
knew what ratioed meant.
I don't know what the
just
kids
kept
are doing
saying
these
it.
days.
Skibbity toilet or some shit, right? Or we moved on from
Skibbity
that.
Riz. Something. I don't know.
You know, I know every generation before says it at some point, but I think the kids are fucking doomed.
I mean, yeah. Considering that they're
If
like,
only
they're like
because-
weirdly prudish these days.
Weirdly prudish, and also because they need to have everything.
Oh,
explained
she
to
hit me
them
at the
by-
well you tried.
Damn!
Oh,
Damn!
oh, fuck. Damn it. I'm dead. I am fucking dead.
Honey, I'm in love.
But
Yes.
I mean, it also doesn't help when they literally need to ask like Grok or ChatGPT to summarize everything for them.
I see that so much, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you kids?
That's dumb.
They don't know how to pirate. They fucking rely on Grok, this AI track. Ugh.
Yeah. Like I said, I think this might be the first time where the older generation saying kids these days, you know, they're ruining everything. They're idiots. They don't know what to do. It's like, fuck, it actually might be true this time. But it was our generation who's doing it. It's our generation who's saying it these days, so of course it's true. We're
Part of our
right.
generation to blame, because some of our generation are the parents.
True. If you're a
Like-
parent and your kid is an iPad baby, you should be arrested for fucking child abuse.
Yeah.
That's
Actually,
my-
what's funny, I was thinking about this. So, one of the things that I don't like about like a lot of like kids shit, something that's more towards kids these days, is how sanitized it is. Where they're afraid, like, oh, we can't put scary things in for children. I'm like, no, it's actually an important thing for development to have that in there. I think what I'm saying is every kid should be made to watch Land Before Time 1.
That's fair.
Also,
But,
I thought about this because I was also I wanted to rag on Little Chef when I looked at it because I was like thinking about it a bit and like, so this is supposed to be an educational thing for kids. The main character has like this speech impediment that I have trouble understanding without subtitles, and I'm like, how the fuck is like a goddamn 4-year-old supposed to understand what this character is saying?
Well, I don't need to. It's cancelled.
Oh yeah, true, but you get what I'm saying though, right?
Maybe that's how it won an Emmy. Maybe you could understand what was being said.
Like, I'm like, I wouldn't want to show that to a kid because it might, like, honestly, I was like, hey, will you show, like, something to a child like this? No, because they won't understand it, or it could even fuck with their development. Like, nah. Also, Cloud's in the dress, by the way.
Was it planned from the start?
Is it a good dress?
It looks good. But then again, I don't know.
Wow, Cloud. Now that
Looks
was a
good,
show.
looks good. She looks fine, and I nearly lost my mind.
Cloud.
But, yeah. I mean, there's lots of things that go into, like, why we need to, showcase specific media
Hell,
to
like,
kids.
like, heck, if I'm going to talk about Land Before Time, I think, well, one, it like, having, like scary scenes in things is good for development, because, you know, you can understand, like, the difference between fiction and shit like that. Having, like, honestly, the death scene of the mom is really good for, like letting kids in a safe environment understand death and loss.
Yeah.
Like, I think, I genuinely think it's a really good movie for kids, like, unironically, because of shit like that. And I think having shit like that in your movies is important. Because,
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I was talking. I guess to sort of cycle back around to an earlier conversation topic, I actually had a similar thing with a friend because I was explaining that when you think about it, what like the Digimon anime dubs have always been remarkably like got away with stuff, you know. Like I don't know how much you ever watched of Adventure 1 and Adventure 2.
Oh, I watched Adventure 1 again, like, only a few years ago, and there is a lot of stuff where I'm like, huh?
Yeah, a lot of stuff where it's like, wait, what? We're actually just gonna like, we're not gonna gloss over this. We're not gonna like. I know, you know, haha, most Digimon only ever die if they're like killed in the real world, but there's never a point where they like downplay the seriousness of like, you know,
Like when Leomon's dying in the first time.
or Waymon, or when Waymon dies, or when you know Wizardmon dies and he dies for real.
Yeah.
And it's like this is the kind of that's why I do think it's important because or why like Digimon has always had like an edge at least in terms of like its anime over Pokemon is because it doesn't shy away from these things but it's also not like glorifying them. Like you're not going oh yeah we killed, it's not just like oh yeah we killed the bad guy, it's like oh our friend is, you know, dying. That's sad.
And that's important, and also a good, like, safe environment for it. Especially when you consider the fact that, like, say, like, when you're young, like, I was pretty young when my one grandfather died and my dad died, but, like, I could understand it, and you could argue it helped by seeing shit like that to understand the idea of loss and shit like that, even if it is just a piece of fiction, and I understand it's fiction, which is also important, is to make sure your kids understand the difference between fiction and reality. Which is why you get, which I think is also why you get weird takes where people are like judge you if you like an evil character or something like that. Like they judge your morals on that. It's like it's a fucking fictional character, or they get upset over like a fictional character doing wrong things when it's part of the story, and, or getting upset over like a story being abrasive. When I'm like, no, this is art. You can like explore this shit because it's a safe environment to do that while you tell your story. Like, I actually like it occasionally when I'm watching something and it'll do something that's like really rough around the edges and makes me go, oh, and perk up. Like, I don't mind when a story decides it's willing to make me uncomfortable for a bit.
Yeah, I think part of the importance of it is like how is the like A, the quality of the writing, and B, the overall context of some things. Because like you can have like some stuff which is badly written and has like these messages that are questionable, or have characters that are questionable, and it doesn't feel like it's come from a position of like arguing a point. It's more of just like making a statement.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a good example. I'm sure I'll come to one. The problem is I don't like interact with a lot of bad media these days. But like, for instance, you can have elements that can happen. Actually, one of the things is like Game of Thrones, where like Game of Thrones, like first sort of big like plot, like rug pull plot twist with killing the main character sort of thing. It works, you know. It's impactful. It warps the story and everything comes out. When you do it like 3 or 4 times, then it just becomes like, well, you're just doing this for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when people get mad because like Reddit or whatever guesses the plot twist of shows, so they like hastily rewrite it to be dumb.
Oh yeah,
dumb
that
bullshit.
is one of the dumbest things. Like, because like some people treat it like, oh wait. They guessed it. Well, that means it's bad. No, that's not. In fact, sometimes that means, hey, you're doing something right because people can like follow a plot thread.
Oh my god.
Or more importantly, or like even more simply than that, you know, the internet is the example of 1,000 monkeys at 1,000 typewriters. Like,
Yeah.
you know, people will post dumb shit all the time, and yes, sometimes they will get it right, but you know, you just don't need to fucking suicide your own story, or sorry, suicide your own story. Just to try and go, haha, you didn't see that coming, because that's how you get shit like, you know, the Star Wars sequels.
Cut the chatter. We gotta leave.
Like, the Star Wars prequels are bad, but they're bad in an honest way.
What?
Like, they're bad in the sense that, yeah, George Lucas is just not a good writer.
Yeah.
What else is new? Sequels are bad in the sense of it's just rug pull after rug pull after rug pull.
Yeah, because they didn't really, because there was no direction to it. And even like the last movie was a reaction to. Because the last movie, because the second movie was.
The second movie was a rug pull movie, right?
They were both reactions to the audience reactions. Both of those movies.
Well, yeah, something like that.
And the first movie, well, actually no, all 3 of them, because the first one was like, oh well, they didn't like the prequel, so let's make a remake of New Hope, but not. And they're like, oh, people are criticizing that. Let's make the second movie, but we kill the main villain. Shit, we don't know what else to do. Fuck, they didn't like that. Palpatine's back!
Somehow Palpatine has returned.
Trying to talk her out of it.
But yeah, so it's kind of the nature of you can have like questionable characters, you can have like evil main characters, you can have like, you know, dark actions. It's just a matter of how, like, you know, Breaking Bad is probably like the big example of how you can do that shit well.
Yeah,
Like, Walter White is without a doubt a fucking monster by the end of the series, and arguably from the start of the series is a monster. You just become more aware of it.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit through and through, and he just gets worse and worse.
And yeah, that's an example of how you can do it, of how that you know, you do that through line through the show.
Yeah.
Other times it's just like, you know, bad wish fulfillment or shit of, oh yeah, I wish I could just kill all of my enemies or people I don't like.
Man,
like,
I
really
sure wish I could have got
anything.
that. I wish I could have got that job, that college course. Now I'm gonna make a movie where I rewrite Nani.
Yeah, well. And then yeah, trying to distort like messages that are relatively important, that are, you know, pretty important for, especially for like kids, you know. That, you know, which is bizarre to me because the whole point of Lilo and Stitch is it's about family, you know.
Yeah.
And family isn't just like, you know, your mum and your dad and even your sister. Family is about the people that you spend time with.
Yeah. Family doesn't have to be by blood.
Yeah. And of course, I'm sure someone will try and argue that, oh, well, the movie's showing that by having Lilo get taken in by the state. But it's also not, because then it's showcasing how a character benefits from not having a family. Therefore, the moral is kind of flawed.
Yep.
You're saying Nani is being held back by her family, which the whole point of the original movie is it's about how people lift in families, lift each other up
and help one another. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, David was, when you look at it, considered to be part of the family in the original movie.
I mean,
Like when you,
he's there and he's important. Give him that.
yeah, like when you think about it, this includes him as well, which is why it was bizarre with the weird direction they decided to take in the fucking hack fraud remake.
Well, they didn't make him a himbo.
No, he's just very stupid, and also he's the son of the old lady that takes custody of Lilo at the end.
I mean, also, you know, the whole literally the key. I mean, we talked about the key thread of the movie is Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. Unless you really want to go on unless you really need to go to California for schooling, because you can't possibly do any schooling in Hawaii. It's impossible.
No, they don't have
Low-key-
a great a marine biology program there or anything.
Low key, a little bit racist. Just saying.
Oh, it very much is. I wonder if it has something to do with advertising their resorts in Hawaii.
I wonder if it has something to do with the fact they just want to have a good excuse to get Lilo out of the way for future stuff, because Lilo is always gets removed from Lilo and Stitch stuff in order to sell it to a bunch of Asian territories.
Damn.
It's true. You can look it up. You can see all the ways in which Lilo has been deleted from Lilo.
Are you talking about like the
Lilo.
Japanese anime one where for some reason Lilo just abandoned Stitch, which makes absolutely no sense?
Yeah.
That one's so fucking stupid.
I'm pretty sure there's other stuff. I'm pretty sure there's also stuff like China where she's just not there because, you know, China are massive racists.
Yeah.
Or at least or at least like, you know, the Chinese executives who decide that Chinese audiences couldn't possibly like a black man.
Oh, interesting. No, because you know how they made like a big deal about Lilo's actress being a native Hawaiian.
Yeah.
The actress playing Nani is Filipino.
I mean, I think what's really fun is in this era of inclusion, we got rid of the transvestite elements completely.
Yeah, they completely removed that. They no longer do cross dressing.
Wow.
And they just have them be a dude. Them both be dudes during most of the movie. Totally not because they don't want to. They want to save money. Not at all. It's not at all of them being cheap at all.
Come on, ladies. Let's hustle.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure Lilo and Stitch has made $1 billion, so it doesn't matter what we think.
Do you want?
Oh, I mean, yeah, they already confirmed a sequel.
Yeah, only thing we can hope for is that Superman does well.
I actually, funny enough, I am planning to see. So next week is my birthday, and like it's on Monday, yeah. But like I'm kind of gonna took off Saturday to kind of like treat that as like as my birthday, and I plan to go watch it on Saturday.
Nice.
Next Saturday, obviously, from this recording.
I'm not sure when I do want to see it in theaters. I'm not sure when I'll get around to it, but you know.
Yeah. I mean, you know me. I fucking love Superman. This looks like Superman.
Well, I mean, I think it's very important that they, at least they highlight a lot of the core actual elements of Superman, which would be things like kindness and heroism and the like, you know, truth and justice, etc.
And you know, I would definitely, you know, like when after I watch it, like the following week, I'll tell you. I'll probably save for the stream after I watch it to talk about it, because it would then be a good stream topic for me to be like, hey, I recommend this, or hey, this was bad, sort of thing. Or like, hey, here's what was good, here was what was bad, and so on. Oh, hi, Don.
I mean, I hope it does well, if only for the fact that, it might inspire like more stuff that actually is like genuine. Because I think like the biggest problem with movies and a lot of writing these days is the almost crippling sense of fucking irony everything has to have.
You know, Don is lucky that Aerith doesn't have Tifa's personality. I mean, Tifa doesn't have Aerith's personality because she would have already punched him right now. You know, that personality with that physique, he'd be punched.
Like, but yeah, like this sort of the Marvel problem of nothing can be genuine, it all has to be ironic or self-referential, which is, you know, a disease that needs to be wiped out.
Oh wait, he's about to choose.
Today's.
And tomorrow's, or the day after's, if the Don takes a shine to you.
Pathetic.
Huh? Hey, which one of you said that? Was it you?
Who could it be? Drum roll, please.
You got a mouth on you.
I think he's choosing Cloud.
Breaking it in. Today's lucky lady is the big bone.
Cloud is
He's
very
chosen
tricky.
Cloud!
Yeah. I mean, out of these three, who would you pick?
Realistically, you want me to give you an actual answer? Or do you want me to do a joke answer?
I mean, let's say actual answer, but we'll assume that you do buy that Cloud is a woman.
If I saw them,
Y'all coming with me.
the problem is I don't, and I'm trying to think of a time where I do.
Shimmy on over and give Daddy some sugar. No need to play coy. No
Nah,
need
a Cloud doesn't really have the personality I'm interested in, so nah.
Even when he basically said, even when he's like comes out and is like, "Oh, you're such a asshole." Like that feels like your type. Someone who would call you a dick straight to your face.
True.
All right, because
I get. You know what? You know what? If going with this idea and with that in mind, I think of those three, given if that was my only like
sure you don't do
view
anything
of them,
inappropriate.
yeah, probably Cloud then.
Asshole.
Yeah, that's my point. Is that I
That's a
know
good
you,
point.
and as soon as like Cloud,
I had to. You're
Cloud,
right, because I had to be like, wait, hold on, I gotta erase everything I know about these three characters because I know a lot about them.
Yeah, because if you know them, then you know who you'll pick. But if you don't know, and this is your only meeting, and you totally buy that Cloud is a woman, then I'm like, yeah, you would definitely go for Cloud.
Yeah.
I probably would too.
Yeah. But going with what I know, honestly, like the Era Tifa question as I've gotten older is harder for me to
I guess
answer
I'm good to go whenever.
because like I
How about
like
you, Tifa?
Era's personality more, but I also like a lot about Tifa, so it's honestly a hard
Let's
question to
hope
answer.
she's happy. Right.
It's a hard question, but not actually to decide.
I don't really know what my answer is.
Got it in.
You know what? You know what? I will. You know what? Just to force me, by the end of this game, I'll have to give you an answer.
Okay, I'll give you. I mean, my answer's Tifa, obviously.
I know that.
fucking
The chair!
There it is. But peace was never an option.
It was nothing compared
Possibly
to you.
the most memed gif out of this whole game.
I mean, to be fair, it was
a good
really, it
game.
was a really good shot. I like this guy coming out the delivery. He's like, oh, oh, he's like, oh, yep, here's the stuff. I'm an ally.
I'll do what I can to clean this up.
Hey, we don't all like Corneo. Some of us think he's an evil cunt.
Thank you.
Oh no, I'm talking about the guy in the hat.
Yeah, I know. Good old,
You know what?
good
You know what?
old
I will say.
Leslie.
Controversial opinion. I think Tifa looks better in her regular outfit than that dress. Anyway, possibly
Okay.
lukewarm. I don't know.
Well, now I've got no real like stake in that game. I'll just, you know what? I'll just say this easy answer. She looks good in everything she wears.
No, I get that. Whenever I really am into a character, that's the kind of answer I'd give too.
What are you doing here?
Why don't you lead the way? Let's go.
It's just also the easy nice guy answer. It's like anytime I know like a female friend of mine or a relative has had like a haircut, even though I genuinely don't really take notice of these sort of things, I'm always like, oh, your hair looks nice. Which has only ever backfired. Which has only ever backfired once because one time someone did go for a haircut but didn't get one.
They had the advantage
like,
of
well-
noticing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but then also, you know, otherwise I still just said, oh, but still, yeah, I just said, oh yeah, I know you didn't have your haircut. I just said it looks nice. Oh, I think I got away with it.
Ooh, actually, giving Tifa prayer as a health regeneration would be pretty good to keep her sustained in a fight.
Yeah, if not, we're just gonna spam chakra. Chakra's her like weapon ability and lets her
Oh
heal.
yeah, I do have that as a materia, the chakra materia, but I don't have two of them. I do need to. What I'm gonna do at some probably off stream is also grind her item stuff.
Yeah.
Get her up to snuff. Let's see here. What do I want to give her?
Well, we are reaching a like nice point to end after
Yeah,
the boss
basically after the
fight.
sequence, pretty much. Yeah, I'm playing the end, and then probably between streams, I'll grind the arena again.
Be a bit before we get back to the arena, but we will get back to it.
I know I can give her that, because not really a whole like build set for her here because other characters have stuff. I'll have to, when I get more money, buy some materia and give her a more of like a build.
Yeah.
So this is just me kind of throwing things on her just so she has stuff. Because
Yeah,
what I
makes
had for her
sense.
before kind of got moved around to other characters. And it kind of fits those characters better anyway.
Like other games with like bigger casts, or at least bigger female casts, they always tend to be like there'll be the one character I'll lock in on because I'm like, oh yeah, this is a neat design at the start, and then gradually there'll be someone who will, personality-wise, I'll like go, actually, Homer Simpson moved the sheep out of the way.
I can't think if there's ever been a time where I've done the Homer Simpson move the sheep out of the way thing.
I can think of a time in its trails, and it was like originally like start of the game or Cold Steel. I was like Laura, Laura's the goat, Laura's the best, and then
Cloud, you're close.
and then I think it was more interact with Sarah, and I'm like, maybe the sword, maybe I'll leave the sword autist to the side.
Don
for a
realizing
second.
who Cloud is. That's really funny.
Wait, you're a dude, and I'm surprisingly okay with that.
What are you three up to?
We'll ask the questions. Like, why'd you have men in Sector 7 asking about Avalanche?
I'm just saying, Cloud was a trans icon before it was cool.
Don't know what you're talking about.
That's a sad thing to say actually, because it's still not cool.
Let's try again.
It should be though.
Why did you have men in Sector 7 asking about Avalanche? Spill the beans. Or...
Yeah, in a lot of ways, FF7 remake is like the example of like
Ah!
why you can.
I like that little spill the beat. I like that little like tell us or Cloud will cut your balls.
Yeah, that is from the original.
Yeah, I'm glad they kept it.
Paid by who?
I can't tell you.
I mean, I think going into the remake, War Market was always the one everybody was like, I don't know how much they'll keep because
Yeah, yep. There's Aerith to rip them off.
because obviously you had things like in the original you have Cloud get in the hot tub with all the dudes, and it's a bit
And what were they planning?
not quite sure how it's meant to be played.
Yeah.
And also obviously Cloud cross-dressing, which in a lot of ways you could easily see where it could come off as like offensive.
Oh, there it is. There's the I'll smash him.
But yeah, it's remarkable the amount of stuff they managed to keep from Wall Market without like becoming tasteless. And I think it's because they just leaned harder into it.
Yeah.
Like Cloud and Andrea having a big gay dance off is fucking great.
It was great. It was. I fucked it up, but I enjoyed it. To the where I was kind of sad they didn't give me a try again because I wanted to try again. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
The plate will come crashing down.
Oh, there's the plate crash.
It'll be Sector 6 all over again.
Well,
I'm sure
not
you've
quite
been
yet,
there
but yeah,
and
yeah,
seen it
getting
for
there.
yourself, so you know exactly what Sector 7 is gonna look like.
They wouldn't.
Come on, guys. We gotta go.
Before you do,
No.
please, this won't take long. As everyone knows, villains only divulge their plans in a certain situation.
At least he knows he's a villain.
That situation.
Well, you can't be a mob boss who forces women to fight to be your wife and then you kill them anyway without being, at least self-aware.
When they think they've already won.
When they think they've already won. Right?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a winner!
This just makes me think of the bit in Revenge of the Sith where Obi-Wan's like, why do we get caught in this trap? We're smarter than this.
I can't get over the fact that they make his belly jiggle.
Enjoy the sights and smells!
Hey man, if you're gonna have jiggle things in this game, I can't think of any other character you want them on.
schedule?
Oh, hi, Shinra President.
The Turks are on top of it.
Good old checks notes. Oh, he's just called President Shinra.
Please, Mr. President, I am asking you to
Reeve?
No
reconsider.
first name.
Reeve looks like what's his fucking
Sector 7
name
Undercity is
from
home to
from
more than
Ace
50,000
Combat.
Director Twisty.
Oh.
Billion
At
lives.
least let us issue a warning,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. I know you mean, but I don't know his name.
It looks like him if he grew out the
I mean-
beard.
Fills the room yet again.
Hmm.
Like you take out that beard and he would literally be him.
Sacrifice.
Damn, if Sepen was here, they may remember it, but they're dead.
Well,
They
sorry,
got him.
Sabo.
Oh, we're in rough waters now. If this is a dungeon, I might save it for next week.
This is a dungeon and also
Okay.
a boss fight, so
You think we should save it for
Might
next
be.
week?
yeah, probably.
Alright, yeah, because I don't really feel like going, like, extra long this time. Oh, wait, no, I wouldn't be able to grind, though. How long is the dungeon?
Quite big.
Okay, yeah, we'll do it next time.
We
then.
wouldn't get it done now. Yeah.
Because then
we're
I could
better to do
grind
it now.
between the two, so that like on the between the next the stream
Yeah.
next time and that following.
Yeah, we'll be going for like multiple hours, so yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just do that next time. Am I able to just save right here? I can. Okay. All right, yeah. So we'll just save here, and then we'll come back to this next week because because if it's gonna be multiple hours in here, then this would be a good stopping point.
Yeah.
And then next week we can make that one a longer stream because then that one could be like the 2-hour stream. Because that'll probably be a long, since the dungeon's fairly long, it'll probably take about 2 hours. That's what I'm guessing. Poor Tifa, she's one level
Yeah.
below us because I grinded.
She'll make it up.
She will. I mean, I'm gonna put her in the arena after the next set, so she'll get up there. Anyway, it's time to leave.
Time to leave.